I'm going to do,
be nice.
with apologies to our friends here and watching, what I get paid to do. Last night was a disaster for the Democratic Party. My only hope is people were not watching, and I will tell you why. First of all, on policy. Well, let's talk about the goal, which every Democrat believes, which is we have to beat Donald Trump, right? So they're lined up in trench warfare, ready to get out of the trenches and charge and fight Donald Trump. Instead, they all turn their guns on each other and shoot each other. And everybody's yelling at each other all night. Everybody. Like if you were watching, if you're an American and this is your introduction to these candidates and the Democratic Party, and all you see are 12 people yelling at each other, trying to interrupt each other, insulting each other, you're like, you know what? I thought Donald Trump was a clown show. I'm changing the channel. That's the first thing. Here's the second thing. Won't be popular among the base. But if you want to beat Donald Trump, you may want to listen. It is a position of every Democrat on that stage that illegal immigrants, if they cross the border illegally, should get health care for life.
Right.
It is then the position of every Democrat on that stage that if they cross the border illegally, it's not even illegal anymore. Now, that may make Democrats feel really good about themselves, right? But that loses Wisconsin, that loses Pennsylvania, that loses Florida, that loses North Carolina, it may lose Virginia. And what these candidates, many of them new to the process, need to understand is that we as a nation were shocked by the picture we saw a few days ago. But there is a vast middle ground between Donald Trump's immigration policies and the free-for-all immigration policies that were pushed last night. I'm going to say also, the frontrunner, Joe Biden, man, he was off his game. I must say, won't make friends here. It was one of the more disturbing debate performances I have seen since Ronald Reagan's first debate in 1984. It was one of those moments where you're going, my God, is he going to complete his sentence? There were times he said he was going to give us 3 points. He gave us 1.5, and then did something that Joe Biden has never done. Gave back his time. My time's up. Yeah. No, Joe Biden doesn't do that. Joe Biden runs through stop signs. He did that last night. Bernie Sanders was yelling all night. Bernie Sanders didn't prepare for the debate. It showed because he basically gave the same debate performances this year that he gave 4 years ago. It may have worked when it was Bernie Sanders against Hillary Clinton. It did not work last night. And I could go on and on. I will say the one thing about Kamala Harris, everybody's talking about what an extraordinary moment that was about busing. She's on the show today, so we can discuss this and give her a little bit of time to come here and figure out a way to whack me for saying this.
No.
But is there really a Democrat today in 2020 that wants to say, I support busing? Is there really a Democrat today that wants to say, even in 74, I would have supported busing when the overwhelming majority of Americans oppose busing? And by the way, if you're talking about segregation and integration, I guarantee you, schools in Miami today are just as segregated by neighborhood as they were back in the 1970s in parts of San Francisco. It was unpopular then. It's unpopular now. So is this the position of the Democratic Party in 2020, that we are going to get 7-year-old children, we're going to drive them an hour, take somebody from San Francisco and make them go across to Oakland for school, a second grader? No, please. I want Donald Trump to lose. My hope is that only Trump was watching last night from Osaka in between